So what's going on YouTube? It's JevMan316, your pop culture reporter, coming back to you with my latest reaction video for the newest episode of Wandavision. This is episode 6 and it's titled An All-New Halloween Spooktacular. This features Billy and Tommy's first Halloween and the town celebration around the holiday. It also features Vision as he's trying to go outside the Westview bubble and find out what really exists on the outskirts and outside of the bubble. And then also Wanda digs deeper into her brother's backstory as far as how is he still alive, and they have a lot of interaction between the two of those. Before we dig any deeper into this episode and I do my reaction, if you'll do me a favor and do the normal YouTube stuff, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Really appreciate this. Likes helps the videos, I know that. If you leave any comments down below, let's get a discussion going on this episode. And if you subscribe to the channel, I surely would appreciate it. I know I got a lot of new subscribers in the last week or so, probably from that toy hunt video that I posted, so check that out. And then after you subscribe to the channel, if you'll go ahead and hit the notification bell. I know you want to do it, and then you'll be notified as soon as I post new videos. So let's get into the latest episode of WandaVision, episode 6, If You Dare. Let's go. So like I said, welcome back to the channel, and in this video we're going to react to the latest episode of WandaVision, which is episode 6, an all-new Halloween Spooktacular. Before we dig into that, on a less serious note, could Wanda be hotter in this episode? I think it's amazing how she looks and how they've got her in the classic Scarlet Witch outfit costume, but that's not what she's calling it, but it doesn't matter to me. I think she's on fire. So with that bit of silliness out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about the episode. It starts off with an opening like a classic television show, and this one it looks like they're mimicking Malcolm in the Middle. And so the only issue I have with that is I think I looked it up, and Malcolm in the Middle debuted around 2000, and so that means that they skip over the 1990s. Did we not get a 1990s intro in an episode? So this one is 100% tied around like a Malcolm in the Middle type story. It even opens with one of her children doing a monologue straight at the camera, just like Malcolm would do, and how everybody interacts with each other. It basically looks just like an episode of Malcolm in the Middle. There's also another issue at the local theater. There's a couple movies playing. I think it's The Incredibles and Parent Trap, and both of those might have come out in the early 2000s or somewhere around like 2003 or 4. So like I said, it looks like we might have skipped the 90s. I was kind of looking forward to seeing something from each one of those decades, but either way. So as Wanda and the children prepare for their Halloween celebration, Vision says he's going to go on a neighborhood watch, which later you find out he wasn't scheduled to do that, but he's doing his own investigation of what's going on in the channel. He starts... Did I say channel? He's doing his own investigation of what's going on in Wanda's Westview world. As he gets closer to the barrier that's on the outside of town, it's weird how the activity of the people, like the motion, their movement, they don't interact. Like everybody's almost slowed down to a snail's pace. So like the farther you get out, the less activity there is. And I guess it's because there's nobody to interact with, and they're just there just in case somebody does. Well, I was wondering like why they didn't, since Vision was there, and start acting. Everybody was still in slow motion when he was around. Is it because Vision isn't really alive? Is it because he's not a human? And if it had been somebody like that, maybe they would have reacted. Or was it because the focus of the camera in Wanda's world was back on them at the Halloween celebration, and that means that there wasn't anybody out there watching Vision? But either way, it looks like with the people frozen there, Vision is starting to sense what's going on, and he gets closer and closer to the barrier, and you find out in this episode what happens to him when he does reach that barrier and tries to go outside. When he hits it, man, and he starts going out, that barrier starts like sucking him back in. It's almost like a tractor beam in Star Wars. It starts sucking parts off of him, and he starts breaking up. And so in order to get him... once Wanda senses, or the children, one of their children senses that there's a problem with their father, Wanda actually expands the bubble of the Westview world out to get Vision back in the bubble And also then by doing that, she also overlaps and pulls some of the Sword members in, and it's kind of cool. It turns them into a lot of them into almost like a traveling circus type thing, which is cool because that would kind of be on the outskirts of town. So I thought that was kind of cool. So, with that being said, the thing I mentioned there was one of her children sensed that there was a problem with her father. So it's almost like their powers in this episode started manifesting themselves. It looks like one of them has almost got a Quicksilver type power where they can run fast, and then this one, it looked like it had a mini version of like Wanda's powers, and also could sense things with its mind. So I'm wondering if they were hinting at, could these children possibly be something like in the Young Avengers, because I think their children might have been in there in the comic book world. Speaking of that, during her conversations, Wanda and Quicksilver, Pietro, I guess is his real name. During one of those conversations, they do like a flashback scene of he's remembering something when they were a kid. I thought it was kind of cool because I need to go back and watch it, because I read somewhere that maybe they were doing some kind of homage to Black Widow and Nick Fury, and I do remember one of them had an eye patch on there, and maybe that in their world, I think Pietro, when he was remembering them doing their trick-or-treating, he remembered that, and then Wanda told him afterwards that that's not how she remembered it at all. So that was kind of weird how they're not on sync. And she also has a vision of him with bullet holes in him, like from when the character died in the Age of Ultron. And so it looks like the two of them like aren't always in sync. And Pietro even makes mention in the beginning of the episode that he's like there to cause chaos and break up the family dynamic or whatever. That he's like the comic relief of the episode. So it's kind of weird like how they're doing that. To me, it actually forms more questions in my mind of who is he, why is he there, and I don't know that I've got any more answers after this episode. So with that being said, let's go ahead with some of the questions I have after this episode. What was with the commercial that was in the middle? I think it was for Yo Magic Kids Yogurt. This big shark comes up on an island where a little boy who's starving and is sitting next to a palm tree, and the shark gives the kid the Yo Magic yogurt and then disappears, and then the kid tries to open it and can't open it, and so long time goes by and he basically withers away. So I'm wondering how does that link into this world? Does it foreshadow something as far as that's going to happen to Wanda and the way she's working with Vision? Is it foreshadowing something the way it's going to happen to her, where somebody offered her something to make her survive and she couldn't get it open, or she couldn't get it to work properly? What about the shark? Could that be foreshadowing, or could that be symbolizing, I guess, somebody? Could it be who's controlling this world? I don't know. I'm just trying to read way too much into these, I guess, but they wouldn't put them in there if it doesn't mean something. So that shark has to symbolize somebody. And then during the interaction between Wanda and her brother, he made a joke where he told the children to go off, trick-or-treating. He said something about, "Unleash hell, you demon spawn." And what was up with that? Did that have any hidden meaning to where these children came from, to where they really weren't her and Vision's children? Maybe they were some spawn of somebody evil that's, controlling this world or whatever. And even her brother makes mention, like I said, of his own death in the Age of Ultron. Why is he so self-aware and providing context around anything? I still don't have a clue yet on how his presence is supposed to affect Wanda or the story or Vision or any of that stuff. One of the things that I did notice is when they were in there talking in the middle of the Halloween celebration, that there was an old movie that was playing on a screen behind them, and it was a movie called The Creature Walks Among Us. And I'm wondering if that's foreshadowing something. So could it be that one of the characters there isn't who they seem to be, or there's somebody in that town that who isn't who they seem to be, and could be the big bad that's controlling all this stuff? I guess we'll have to see more episodes to find out. One of the theories I brought up in my reaction video to episode 5, the last episode, was that maybe Pietro came and was going to be some kind of link between the Fox Marvel universe, because he was in that version of Quicksilver that he played was in the Fox movies, versus the one that was in the Age of Ultron movie. I'm starting to doubt that less and less, but it could be because I still think there could be some type of connection, because there was a couple of Easter eggs they seemed to plan around that were related to that. Like in one episode, they're talking about going out and getting candy, and one of her children says, "Yeah, kick ass." And the actor that played Quicksilver in Age of Ultron played kick ass. Am I thinking too much? Is that too big of a stretch? It's almost like I'm looking around every corner for Easter eggs in this to try to figure out what's going on, and maybe I'm looking too deep. You let me know in the comments below. The movie that's playing in the local theater, like I said, was the Incredibles and Parent Trap. Well, Parent Trap was about twins that switch places. Could that tie into the two versions of Quicksilver that switch places? Once again, maybe I'm digging too deep. I'm not sure. So with that being said, I think I've got almost even more questions after this episode. The only thing that I really think could come to be is that Monica Rambeau is going to end up with more and more powers, because with her transferring, back and forth in and outside the bubble, it's changing her molecular structure. I think eventually she's going to get some more powers, and she's going to be needed in order to stop this or figure out what's going on ultimately with Wanda. I'm not sure, but if it's only 9 episodes, we only got 3 left. Like I said in the last video, I heard a rumor there might be 10, so we might have 4 episodes left. Everybody's suggesting that this is going to be the link into the Doctor Strange movie, since I know Black Widow is eventually going to release, but that was recorded, ages ago, it seems now. The next major movie is probably going to be either, Into the Spider-Verse? No, or the next major movie is going to be, the Spider-Man movie, but I don't know how that's going to link into this. It could be multiverse type, but definitely the next Doctor Strange movie is going to link into this, is what everybody's saying. So could he show up? I really wish he would. That would be amazing. So until next week, when I'll review episode number 7, I want to thank everybody for coming by and checking out my reaction video for this episode. I want to thank everybody for all the support that I've been getting on the channel. If you'll do me a favor and go ahead and like this video, leave any comments below. Do you disagree with any of my theories? Hit the subscribe button so you'll be a new subscriber to the channel, and if you haven't already, and if you have, go ahead and hit the notification bell, because you'll be the first to know when I post new videos. So until next week, come back and watch my reaction video of number 7. Same WandaVision time, same Jeffman316 Customs YouTube channel. You guys be safe out there. I wanted to go ahead and also record a message that I'm going to maybe tag at the end of this if anybody actually sees it. There's a lot going on in the world around me right now, and I hope it doesn't ultimately affect this YouTube channel, but I'm going to try to definitely keep it going. But I got a lot of things going on in my personal life, so if you guys could go ahead and drop some prayers, and I would appreciate any support you guys could give me. I'm going to drop my Cash App login name down below, so if you could do me a favor, anybody that's willing to support this channel to keep me able to do toy hunts, or just support me any way you can, I would appreciate that too. So other than that, I really do appreciate the new subscribers that I've been getting, and I love doing this, and I hope I can continue it in the future. So you guys be safe out there.